I want to tell you how I eventually left my job. Now, I know some of you out there are thinking, I've been working in this job for so many years and I don't want to work there anymore, but I don't know what to do. Well, I was in that situation. So I did work in a company for many years, and to be honest with you, I loved working there. I loved working there mostly because I felt accepted. I was kind of part of a family. I enjoyed helping my clients a great deal. And it was fun. I enjoyed having fun in that job. In fact, every Friday, I would have a little dance thing right after the clients left, and my colleagues would join me. So it was a lot of fun. But there came a point about maybe 3 years before I did decide to leave that I was starting to feel that I wasn't learning as much and I didn't want to work full time anymore. So I continued going to work every day, but there was one time in particular that I got into an accident. I had a slight concussion and I needed to go on a leave, sick leave. So I was off work probably initially for about 3 weeks and then gradually, started to go back to work full time. That was, hi, morning. Pretty good, you? That was the first sign. The first sign that told me, So eventually I got back to work and I still felt the same way. I still felt like I don't really want to be here. And I was really looking forward to retiring, but I was afraid of retiring because I knew technically that I wasn't going to retire. I just didn't want to leave that job because I was afraid of not having enough money after my retirement. I had other little projects on the go. I was already teaching at the time and offering some webinars for other companies, but I wasn't ready to leave that full-time, regular income, benefits and all job until this one thing happened. I'm not going to get into the details of exactly what that is, but suffice to say that one of my family members got sick. And I thought, especially as I was driving to that town where they were, I thought, I can't do this anymore. I wanted to be available and accessible to my family member. So I decided as I'm driving to that town to quit. Now I gave a notice. So when I came back to work that Monday, I gave my notice. It was a 2 months notice. I think it was 2 months, not a month. I can't remember. I think it might have been 2 months. Giving them enough time to find somebody qualified and for me to train them. And it was done. Now at the same time, I started the process of selling my house. And I was really hoping that things would line up perfectly. That's a hint. Things didn't line up perfectly. So anyways, I did leave the job in August 2018, and my house, although it had a couple of offers, did not sell. And so I was in my house having to figure out, now what? My goal was to leave that job, and I did it. But I didn't really know what else I could do. That wasn't clear to me at the time. So number one, I did it because for some reason, in this case it was my family, that told me you needed to quit my job. That was the second hint. Spiritual, call it what you want. Coincidence, whatever you want to call it, that told me you got to leave your job. And then the rest after that eventually came to be. Now, I have to tell you that if I would have had a plan ahead of time, I had a plan. Quit your job and sell your house. Well, the quitting the job plan, I would have hold on to that one for a very, very, very long time. I think, honestly, that when I did make the decision to leave it, it was one of these divine interventions, because otherwise I probably would not have done it, in all honesty. But once I left that job, and then I had to, figure out things with the mortgage, I came up with a plan. And that plan included to continue teaching and coaching and doing the webinars that I was doing for that company. And I added boarders. So I had a house and I decided to accept people to, rent a room in my house. I had a plan. Once I had that plan, I was able to breathe a little bit better. I also decided to start my CPP. So that following January, I left my job in August. That following January is when I started getting my CPP Canada pension plan. All of this to say that if you are thinking of leaving your job, you're thinking of retiring, but you have no idea what that looks like, you're afraid, you're delaying it, and it's driving you crazy, and you really don't want to go to work, and you even take sick days too if you want, because you don't want to go to work. It's time to start thinking of a plan. It really is. What is it that you could do once you leave that job? Now, what are your concerns? Is it finances? Then think of a plan. What could you do for your finances? Are you worried about your not having any friends? Well, think about it. What could you do to make some friends? Are you worried about not having enough activities or interests? Well, start thinking about that now. Start thinking about that now. And of course, as a coach, I'm here to help you. I do have a tool for you. Go to my website, LindaGRobert.com/values, and on there you're going to have an assessment. It'll help you to envision your life, look at your values, and to set some goals as well. Take care. This is Linda G. Robert. You're back in the groove again, coach, helping you live your best life now so you can love what you do. Bye-bye now.